In this episode, we're going to be looking at the energies that have come in with the 3-3 portal and how they are going to hit, because they are hitting very differently from what we have been used to. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hi and welcome to Outlaw Door. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Claire Attio. For those that are returning subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so the 3-3 portal and the energies that are coming in. The 3-3 portal is just kind of expanded on the energies that were already with us because of the planetary alignments. And I did put a video out, I think last week or the week before, looking at some of the aspects of those energies, and as they unfold and as they continue to unfold, let's be mindful about that these energies are continually coming towards us. They are continually unfolding. We are continually getting light codes and downloads to help us with the ascension process. What's interesting and why I'm doing this video is the way those energies are hitting. As I said, in the last video, I kind of focused on those that haven't been doing the healing journey, those that have been resistant, those that have been on our paths and have been resistant themselves and been trying to hold us back, and how that's going to unfold. It is very much a karmic energies that are coming through, and that has something to do with Mars. I do know that in the placement of Mars. I think it's Mars and Uranus, but again, please don't quote me. I'm not an astrologist. What I've noticed on a personal level is how they've been hitting for those of us that have been doing the work, that have been taking the steps. And that is not to say, I don't say this in a them in us, it's just where we are on our journey. But I have been noticing that with these new energies, they have been hitting very differently. And they've a couple of times they've caught me off guard, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? It's been an interesting time this past week, and especially the weekend. Actually, I'm going to say since the new year, there are energies coming in that are really getting us to dig very, very deeply. And so in that, there are energies coming up that we've worked on. We've done the work, we've done the clearing. And so you kind of sat there and thinking, oh, well, I've done that. I know I've done that. And you've got a twofold aspect going on there. One, you would have moved forward, and so you're able to go in again and take it from even deeper perspective. And two, sometimes within that healing, because of where we were on our life path, we didn't go through all the steps of the healing process, and grief is a big one that's coming up. The grief kind of was one that came up just before Christmas, it came up after Christmas, and yes, I have had a loss in, but it wasn't that. This was old stuff that was coming up, and one of the ones that hit me this weekend was an incident that took a lot of healing, that's nearly 30 years old. But because of where I was, because I was a single mum at the time, and because of what was going on and what the incident was, all my energy was focused on, one, getting through that situation the best way I could at the time with the tools that I had in my toolbox. And I think that's important to remember, is when we're doing this work, let's not be negative about the processes that we've undertaken. We undertook those processes in the best way we possibly could with where we were at. And I think we need to remember this because it would be all too easy. And I sometimes wonder whether it's a little play and a little test as to, are they going to go back into the story, or are they going to just review it, be introspective about it, take what's needed, do what's needed, and move forward. And that is what we want to be able to do, is we want to be able to go, okay, thank you, I've seen that. And then make ourselves some time where we go back in, we do the introspection, we take hold of the lessons that were in there, or the aspects of that healing process that we never undertook at the time. We give ourselves the opportunity to do that, and then we move on. We don't sit there, we don't mull over it, and we certainly shouldn't be disrespecting the work that we've done, because what we're actually doing in those moments is we're disrespecting ourselves. We're lowering our vibrations. We're going back into that old paradigm of, oh, I didn't do it right, and I'm not good enough, and all the other things that we can say to ourselves, really in a very mean energy. So let's not do that. Let's just go back in and look at it and go, okay, that's what I did. One for me was, as I said, one that came up over the weekend was one of grief. And because I was working through that process, and because I was working and I was a single mum, and my daughter was very young at the time, I had a lot on my plate, and I was not, and I think this is a key, I was not in an emotional place or space that I could allow myself, I could afford myself the luxury of grieving that situation. I needed to just keep moving forward, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. But in that, and I think this is a key thing, because a lot of us have actually done that over the years. A lot of us have done that. Keep moving forward, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. What's actually happening with these energies that are coming through is they're making us go back and revisit, and to really clean it up, really get rid of all the stagnant energy that doesn't need to be there. Making ourselves that clean and clear vessel on all levels. The energies are very subtle. When we've had downloads, when we've had portals open, sometimes they kind of hit you like a brick, and you get the ascension symptoms, and you feel heavy, and you feel tired, and you have to rest, and you think, is this ever going to end? And I don't believe, I mean, it could be that we've moved forward so much that we've now become accustomed to that, and our bodies integrate them with greater ease. But it doesn't feel like that to me. And I'd love to know your comments. So leave your comments. What does it feel like to you? Because it feels that they are much more subtle, but they sneak up on you. I was doing a meditation this morning, and the tears just started rolling, and I wasn't 2 minutes into the meditation. I was like, what's that? And it's just a release. It was just a release. And so the other aspect of it is yes, do we need to do introspection to find the gems? Absolutely. To grasp hold of the lessons so that we do not have to repeat that cycle again. Absolutely, that's really important. But also have the discernment, take the time with yourself and go, okay, do I need to give this a long ass processing period? And like this morning, I didn't need to do that. It was just a case of just let it go. Just let it go. And that's exactly what I did. And the tears came. It was no more than a minute. And then boom, I was back. But in that minute, I had the release and transmuted the energy that I needed to transmute so that I could bring down and integrate even more light codes. Give yourself the space and the place and the love and nurturing that you actually need to step into your soul sovereign self, because that's where we're going, that's where we're heading. We currently work on polarities, and we're currently doing all this healing, and we're walking into a new era where everybody will be on higher vibrations. Now, what that new era is going to look at, because at the moment we make sense of our reality through polarities. I don't know if those polarities are still going to exist in the new era, or whether, well, I just don't know. None of us know. We've all seen different things in our meditations. And that, oh, sorry, that's another thing that I want to bring up. Our visualizations, our channels. I mean, I get some weird ass channels. I'm going to be honest. I get some weird channels, and I'm just like, okay, Spirit, how do I disseminate that information? Because if I say it the way you showed it to me, it's going to go boom. And very often I have to sit with it. That is increasing. For those of you that channel, for those of you that this little part of the video resonates with, what I'm being told is just document it, journal it, and give yourself the time to sit with it. We will be given the tools, and we will be shown how to disseminate and incorporate that into the greater expanse of humanity. At the moment, it's being presented to us so that we can sit with it and begin to integrate it, start to unpack it. And little by little, what I was told is little by little, this will start to, we will be given the tools, and we will be given the understanding as to how we're able to use that to assist the masses with ascension. So that little bit there of that video, if that resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, don't take it. It's not for you yet. Finishing this up. So one, I want you to kind of really just understand that the energies are coming in differently. They're hitting differently. There's nothing, well, I say that. Obviously, you need to use your own discernment, and you need to check in with yourself there. But for many, it's not going to be, oh, I'm not connecting to say, I'm not connecting. It's the connections, the information, the way it's coming in is very different. And it's almost like when I can remember when I first started my spiritual journey, and every time I kind of went to another level, it was and when I was working with one guide, and then I would be transitioning from one guide to another guide, it's almost like that again. The energies are different, the energies are shifting, the energies are changing, they're hitting differently. I think that's the key. They're hitting differently, and so it would be very easy, if we weren't mindful, to think that we're not got the same connection, or we think that there's something amiss, or that it's something more sinister. Now, there is some dark ass aspects going on, so again, use your discernment, but don't assume. Check in with yourself. When something doesn't feel quite right, sit with it, ask the deeper questions, connect with the divine, and just check in with yourself. So I wanted to get on and say that it's because in the last video I did actually say that these cycles were going to hit us because it is very karmic energy and we shouldn't be complacent. Yes, it's going to hit a lot of people and it's going to hit loved ones. Let's be honest. We've all got families where there are family members that their vibration has been quite low, and it is going to hit them. It's not hitting them is you're getting yours. It's hitting them is it okay, come on, it's your time now. This is here for you. This is here for all of us. So it's not going to hit us in that way, but it is hitting us in a way that is moving and shifting and demanding from us that we clear, completely clear old stories, old beliefs, old paradigms that basically just are from another timeline that we're no longer a part of. I've been given 3 questions for you. I'm going to read them. So the first question that came through that Spirit wants you to kind of sit with is, what stories of your past continue to play out, aka are still shaping your current beliefs and behaviors? So is there something you were taught as a child that you haven't let go of? A belief, a value. Check in with that, sit with that. So I'll read that again. What stories of your past continue to play out, aka shape your current beliefs and behaviors? If you had a magic wand, what would you change right now and why? And this is personal. That was the thing. Yeah. Very much on an individual basis, not on a collective basis. It will be a collective basis because we're all connected. But the question is to be asked personally, individually. So if you had a magic wand, what would you change and why? And then to sit on that one, when that came through, when that question came through, I was absolutely told that is one for deep introspection, because that is a question that will bring up some of those hidden dysfunctional beliefs and values within you. And then the third one is, what percentage of your life activity... Oh, sorry, let me reread that. What percentage of your life actively supports and encourages you? So what percentage of the people... I'm sorry, I've done my own scribbles there. When I'm channeling, I tend to scribble and then I can't read it back to myself. So what percentage of people that are part of your life, what percentage do they actively support and contribute to positively? And again, this is to wake us up to the fact that we have been interacting with energies and frequencies that no longer resonate with us, because we've had friendships and because we are compassionate souls, and it's not about taking the compassion away, but we really need to be mindful of who we are interacting with and mixing our energies with. When you're on the higher frequencies, you have to make choices. It's like when you're the boss, you have to make hard choices. You can't be everybody's friend. And this is the same thing on the ascension path. And again, this will not resonate for everybody. This will resonate for those that absolutely, it will resonate absolutely for those that already know what their mission is, or they know what their role is going to be within the mission as it rolls out. We're being asked to step up, and in that stepping up, we're going to have to make some hard choices, some hard decisions. And my interpretation of that question when it come through was, we're being asked to look at who we're mixing our energies with. Are they part of our soul tribe, or are they still karmic relationships where we've learned the lesson, but we haven't cut the cords? We haven't allowed those people to be free to go and learn their lessons, and for us to be free. Now, I'm not saying you don't ever talk to them again. What I'm actually saying is, and that's important, you know, I would never want to give the impression that I'm saying, oh, you pull away from your family. With all the, you know, I haven't met a single person on this journey yet that doesn't have a karmic member in their family. Now, I'm not saying that you just cut that person out of your life. What I'm saying is the percentage. Look at the percentage. It's up to each and every one of us to ensure that we get, and we're looking at the balance of energy exchanges. We're not here to feed people. We're here to feed ourselves. And in that feeding ourselves, we give from the overflow. We support. But when I say give, we're not doing the work for them. It's about holding space for them so that they can do themselves. And I paused there because I was asking my team then, because I had a situation again over the weekend where in the spirit realm, I had a spirit animal come to me who had obviously shapeshift, which was the first thing that alerted me. And they asked me whether I would be willing to do healing on their ancestors. And the old me very nearly went, and went to kind of go, okay, what's needed? The new me went, why can't you do it? We're not here to do the work for people. We're here to do the work for ourselves and to support, sometimes guide, depending on what your role is, depending on what your mission is, to disseminate the information as we get it so that each and every one of us can kind of take out the pieces and bits and pieces that we actually need within the teachings, within the dissemination of the information. I checked in with my guides as to whether I could share that aspect of what happened over the weekend, and they were, yeah, fine. Have the discernment, check in with your guides. Some of this information and some of the things that will be coming towards you are not to be shared. And they're not to be shared for a whole host of different reasons. I just needed to check that. If you're a practitioner and somebody's coming towards you and asking for help, check in with the energies, because these are karmic energies that are coming in. I said it in the last video, a lot of people that are unwilling to do the work, they're using their free will not to do the work, are now starting to look for shelter. Now, I'm not, and I know that sounds really hard when we have the tools, when we're here to care, to help, to heal. But a big aspect of that healing is not to do it for people. That's it. How can I explain it? The biggest, that was probably the biggest mistake with religion all over the world, is they had the tools and the knowledge to assist people, but what happened is they ended up then becoming an institution that people went to rather than allowing the people to learn for themselves. It's not about not having compassion. Hold these people. I implore you to hold somebody who is struggling with compassion, with love. Send them that energy so that they can find the strength within them to do the work that they need. Hope that's helped. Please leave your comments. Let me know what's going on in your world, how it's actually panning out for you in the comment spots below. Hit that like button, share with your friends, and if you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe. You take care. Bye.